Okay, let's see if I can get everything working here, guys. I'm trying to operate a couple of things here at once. Possibly. There's JW and Mr. Smith. I see you. How's the sound and video coming through, guys? I get a 5x5 there. Looks okay on my end, but not sure. I don't have anything really too specific to talk about tonight, guys. Thanks, JW and Agent Smith. Hey, Bug Out. Looks like you finally made one. Caribou, man, where have you been, brother? My goodness. Hey, Tony, thanks for stopping by. Blands, I just left y'all's live a minute ago. Thank y'all for stopping by. Give everybody a minute to come in. Where you been at, Caribou? Come on, man. You got to get your channel up and going back on YouTube. Hey, there's Tina. Give everybody a minute to come in here. Hey, Fun, how's it going? Oh, yeah, I had to add another antenna. I'm going to try and pick up some Ukraine vibes tonight. Yeah, no doubt, Caribou. It'd be good if you'd just come on and say hi to us every now and then, let you know how you're doing, man. I hope the family's all good up there. Hope y'all are staying away from the fires. I know they're kind of on the opposite side of y'all, but hope all is good, man. It's good to see you. Yeah, Monica, I'm trying to switch my configuration over to a cowboy hat. I've got an idea. I'm working on it. Guys, first, thanks for coming in. And thanks for all the new subs, new people stopping by. We crossed over 4,000 subs earlier in the month, and I want to say thanks to everybody. I appreciate it. I never figured that. But like I said, nothing specific on the agenda tonight. Everything going on. Most of y'all have probably heard, seen the latest and greatest all around the world. I just want to discuss it all with y'all. Yeah, I'm thinking the cowboy hat's going to have a little more surface area, so I'm kind of limited on my bandwidth on my deal here. If I get a cowboy hat, I'm thinking maybe I'll get some more bandwidth out there. Yeah, thanks, Dan. Y'all too. I saw earlier today. Y'all are like over 16,000 now. Good job. Speaking of autograph, I'm going to be sending this back. Okay. Everybody in the chat, y'all need to go check out Monica there and Eric at Bland's Promised Land. Great channel on YouTube. I've got my shirt here, and nowhere on it do I see my autograph. So I'm going to be sending this back to y'all so y'all can autograph it, Monica. Thank y'all for the shirt. You thought I was kidding about that autograph, didn't you? Hey, Rusty Bottoms. Sombrero, yeah. Those are a little harder to get around here. But the convenience store, I saw some over there the other day. Oh, yeah. You're going to sign it if I have to come up there and bring the girls. foil cardboard sandwich. Hey, Rattle Trap, thanks for stopping by. I ain't seen you in a long time either. Did Ark Living come in here? Did I miss him somewhere? I don't see him. Rusty Bottoms, is that Ark Living? Come on. Did I miss him? I got to do a video about Ark Living and boys down at Lazy Pond Farm. I got my knives from Darren in Australia, and I'm going to be giving a couple of those away here pretty soon. And I'm going to mention the guys that we had given the other knives to. I already picked out who I'm going to give the next one to, and we're going to be giving one away. So, hey, Stuart, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I know, Rattle Trap. YouTube don't care too much for me. Things I say and carry on about here and do, they don't push me too hard or give out too many notifications. A tinfoil sombrero. You send it on, fun. Don't think that I won't wear it. All for new content creation, huh? Rusty Bottoms. Well, I need to get that on my channel and get subscribed to it for sure. Let me see here. Did you just change your channel name? Is that what happened? Okay. I hear you. Well, everybody, please, Rusty, drop your link, man, and y'all go check out Rusty. It's worth your stop by, I guarantee it. Come on, Caribou, man. It's just the kiddos. You ain't got to worry about work and sports and all that other stuff, man. It's just the kiddos and YouTube. Put all that other stuff off. Nobody cares. Just a name change. I hear you, man. Survival for Dummies. That's Off the Wall Prepper. How's it going, man? That's your new channel too. Everybody picking up these new channels. I don't even know if I got any mods in there, but if I do, y'all drop these guys links. We're all in here friends and community, so we all should at least get to know each other. Most everybody in there is pretty good that I can see anyway. Again, guys, nothing specific. If y'all got something in particular y'all want to chat about or question about or ask about, just ask away. Well, thanks for stopping by, Caribou, man. I appreciate it. Y'all stay safe up there. Yes, sir. Get back on that channel, man. We enjoyed seeing you. Did LF get the soap? I am not sure, Fun. I ain't been in there in a few days, but they have gotten all kinds of packages. Well, so thanks for stopping by, Off the Wall. We ain't near as organized or put together around here as you are. We just kind of go by the fly here. Hey, Elizabeth. Thanks for stopping by. I can't keep up with everything going on in the chat here. Hey, Alexander. The alert status, I personally, I'd go ahead and consider it SHTF alert status. Thanks for stopping in, Monica. I appreciate it. Y'all had a good live tonight. I always enjoy y'all's lives. There's Tina. She's dropping some links. Drop them all in there, Tina. Hey, bug out. Eastern Canada. Yeah, I saw somebody today mention that about, I think it was BP Earthwatch was going to be looking at some heat signature satellites. I don't particularly think it's going to be volcanic myself, but usually that volcanic stuff has, it's been active in the past and gives some kind of sign that there's activity in the area, and for it to just bring lava right up to the surface, I mean, you're probably going to notice some major earthquakes, a lot of other things that's going to accompany that lava making it to the surface. So I don't look too much over in the volcanic area. But the way all of those things lit all at once there, if you look at the satellite images and photos of the smoke and the way that it all started, I mean, you're probably talking, 20 or 30 fires over a 300 or 400 mile area, and some up to the north there were probably several hundred miles away too. And they all ignited at the same time. Now, I'm not going to point a finger at a directed energy weapon of any kind, but for all of those fires to light simultaneously over that large of an area with virtually no storm clouds, no lightning in the area, I leave it up to y'all for discernment. How's it going, Mark? Reception is good, man. Yeah, fun. The Ukrainian dam. I mean, you can look at that so many different ways, and it's going to be much like everything else here. We will never know the truth on that. I mean, we all obviously have our suspicions. Myself in particular, I think it's NATO. I don't have a problem saying it. They were the ones that would benefit the most from it. And it's caused a quagmire over there for everybody. But I don't believe myself in particular all of the propaganda that comes out from over there. That is a big thing, is the propaganda. And what we are going to hear over here is obviously going to be our side telling us what we want to hear. Whether that be we're not losing people, we're not losing equipment, we're winning, whatever that may be. For everything going on over there, the dam, of course, they're going to blame that on Russia, Russia blames it on us. It's just a piss and match back and forth, and we don't really get anywhere. And in this war, the truth is the first victim. That's the first thing that goes out the door. So us people, we will probably never know the truth. And the biggest reason for that probably is back during, I think it was during the Obama administration, they repealed the Smith-Mundt Act, which came into effect after World War II and basically said that the U.S. government couldn't lie to us, the citizens. And, when that was repealed, they had allowed them to run any kind of propaganda they want. So in my mind, they're just going to tell us what they want us to hear, whether it be about the war over there or the dam or the economy or our financials or the banks or the food situation. Hey, Deb, how's it going? Doesn't really matter to me. I see everything that comes from our government as propaganda. The Trump has been federally indicted. Well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me either. I mean, they're going to throw all of the monkey poo at him that they can. If they can get some kind of conviction on him, I think it makes it illegal for you to run for president if you've been convicted. So that'd be an easy way for them to get him out of there. I don't think it's really going to matter. On this two-party system, they have figured out a long time ago, all they got to do is throw a third candidate into the run, and it screws up all of the odds and all of the votes. And I've said it before, it doesn't matter who you vote for or how many times you vote for them. What matters is who counts that vote, and we all know who counts that vote. So, but yeah, lots going on. Didn't y'all see who heard the other day about the whatever it was that landed in Las Vegas out there? Did y'all see the video of that? Apparently, there was some looked kind of like a meteor for me, from what I could see, but pretty interesting ball of light. Either landed or crashed out there. They're not sure which, and it's become real quiet over the last couple of days. But they got the whatever it was, the ball of light on video. Several security cams caught it, and not too long after this ball of light apparently appeared or crashed out there, there were some 911 calls made, and some people saying they were seeing some visitors out there. You know, and that's really, I think, probably the last big show they're going to give us is this alien deal. I know it's made mainstream in the last few weeks. There's been a whistleblower come out, apparently a military intelligence guy, that says, we have possession of these craft, many of them, lots of the technology. So we'll see. Yeah, it did, Tony. It was a big green ball of light, actually. Too slow to be a meteor, but that's kind of what it looked like. It had a tail, and it was pretty close, actually. So it was definitely something. What it was, again, we may never know, but it's all just playing into everything. I've heard everything this week from, the dam break to nukes are in the air, the bombers are in the air, the aliens have landed. I mean, it's the fireballs are the meteors, fireballs, whatever you want to call them, comets, asteroids. They are definitely becoming more common. You can get on NASA's website itself and look at the ones that are coming closer and closer to Earth, and the numbers just keep increasing. They've been saying for a while, we are going through a very busy area of space with lots of debris. Yeah, the nukes and the bombs are about really the only thing left here. I mean, and that may be part of this whole Zafariah nuclear facility over there. Again, I don't believe all of this propaganda coming out of there. I'm not an engineer that works at a nuclear facility, but I've been in a few nuclear facilities. And the way that the news describes it over there, what's happening is it's not necessarily the way that things happen. I mean, you got to look at this logically, and again, separate the propaganda from, what may be factual going on. And it's all a guessing game for us because none of us know. But that Zafariah facility is, I think it's maybe the largest or one of the largest nuclear facilities in Europe. And, it's right down there in an area that has been contested pretty much since this whole thing began. And everything that I've seen coming out of there for months and months and months, I mean, the infrastructure in Ukraine is decimated, which includes all majority, probably 95% of the major transmission lines over there. So where this nuclear plant, if they have it online, is sending all of this power that it's supposed to be making is beyond me, because the infrastructure is down over there. And I don't know how many brain cells you have to rub together to figure out that you have an operating nuclear plant in a war zone. Might not be the best idea. And it was my understanding that the plant had been shut down, turned off, cool mode, months and months ago. So all of this, propaganda that we're seeing now, hearing on this nuclear plant explosion over there because they've blown the dam and the rivers, they can't get cooling water anymore, blah, blah, blah. Again, everything I'm seeing and hearing on there, even though the dam has been blown and the water is pouring out, that reservoir is many, many, many miles long. I mean, it's huge, and it's going to take some time for it to empty. So up there where the nuclear facility is, I don't even think the river has dropped very much. And, we see all kinds of information coming out. The cooling ponds are dropping 2 feet a day or 5 feet a day. They're evaporating, blah, blah, blah. The designers and engineers and builders of these nuclear facilities anticipated not having water come from that river. And when you shut these facilities down, the production and steam loss, water loss is minimal. It's basically recirculated through those cooling ponds. Where all this water loss is going, I have no idea. It's not the way I understand the nuclear facility to be working. And, if there was any problem in this facility, the common sense thing is to just shut it down. I mean, yeah, there still could be problems with that, but I mean, the simple deal is to shut the facility down. Thanks for talking about OTWP. Well, yeah, that was, the last thing they kind of had to admit, Hoot Owl. Hey, Rare, thanks for stopping by, Odessa. Yes, Phone, they can pump water. I mean, really, the pumping of the water isn't even the problem. I mean, the cooling ponds are still full out there, and the cooling ponds are separated from the river. They're totally separate. For that very instance, in case they can't get water from the river, they still have a large amount of water there on site to cool this facility. Hey, OTWP, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. No need for that, but thank you. And we will, for sure. Yeah, you can't just shut it down, Fun, but I mean, there are procedures for shutting that plant down, and it can be done probably within 24 to 36 hours on a normal shutdown procedure. An emergency shutdown procedure, I mean, they could probably get it done in 6 or 8. But like I said, my understanding was the facility's been down for some time. Like I said, how many brain cells do you got to rub together to figure out you don't need to be operating a nuclear facility in the middle of a war zone? Maybe they were. I mean, you can see they have made some really smart decisions here lately with everything going on. I'd say it was probably an inside job, Rare. I mean, depends on which side you're saying inside. I mean, I think the Russians were in control of the facility, or are in control of the facility, and they were in control of the dam. But there's not much you can do about a missile coming in at Mach 2 or Mach 3. And the explosion that I seen of the dam, that was a hell of an explosion. That wasn't some briefcase that somebody was carrying through there to blow that thing up. I don't doubt it one bit, JW. That kind of explosion, I would definitely lean toward a missile. And, they were coming out pointing fingers and screaming, who did this, who did that, all this, all that, within 30 minutes of it actually happened. And I found it real convenient that the Ukrainians had a drone over that thing at the exact time that it just happened to get blown up. And of course, all of the evidence is under 1 billion gallons of water and mud now, so that will never be found. Yeah, Hoot Owl, it actually did serve both sides. I mean, the river, the Dnieper River that runs through there is basically the split, where Russia's on their side and NATO or Ukraine is on the other side. And it's a natural boundary there that has kept the fighting between them pretty much. And blowing the dam, it's going to hurt both of them. I mean, they both got troops and equipment in the area, and Ukraine, they want to take back Crimea. So any of that damage from that point south into Crimea down that river, even though it's still a very small part of the war zone and of Ukraine, there was a lot of people and equipment there. And it's definitely going to muck things up for a few weeks at least on any kind of plans. Or we all hear that Ukraine had their thing they were fixing to do, and Russia had already done their thing, and it's not going to be long. Well, it already is getting to be springtime over there, and the big melt and the mud mess, and the things that have slowed down armies for centuries over in that part of the world. Yeah, a lot of those people got river views now. Dnipro. Yeah, rare. I mean, they are self-sustaining for a while. I mean, all of the engineers, they built, safety factors and thought of all that stuff before. I mean, for the biggest part. Unless you're talking about a Fukushima event where you got a 30 or 40 foot wall of water coming in. I don't think any of them figured on that, which they should have, but that was my whole thing with propaganda coming out over there on the nuclear facility. If they allow that thing to go hot or blow up, I mean, to me, it would just be intentional. There's been plenty of time to shut that facility down. And I don't think, I don't think anybody on either side wants to deliver nuclear fallout across that area over there. But if they got a nuclear accident like that, there is, what's holding them back from dropping some nukes already if it's already contaminated? I mean, Chernobyl's not too far over there, and that area is contaminated. I mean, so they've already done a mess over there in this area anyway. What's dropping a few nukes going to do? Jamie Foxx, I hadn't even seen him. Thanks for stopping by, Fun. It's just interesting. I find it interesting, everything going on. It's too much for anybody to keep up with. I mean, the old news of yesterday or last week or last month, nobody remembers. The attention span is gone. Nobody thinks, but the overall picture, I was talking with JW earlier the other day, and I don't think, from my viewpoint, that everybody grasps the concept that today is as good as it's going to be. Today or yesterday was as good as it's going to be, because every day the situation progresses a little worse and a little worse every single day. AFSP. So today and tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is going to be as good as it gets, because every day it's going to go downhill a little bit at a time. So you should take this time and the opportunity that you have to do the things that you need to do to get ready. Thanks, FSP. Yeah, Rare. I'd heard something too about the Ukraine had opened a couple of other dams that were further upriver from that. I mean, if the Ukraine government is trying to help the situation, why would they open more dams to allow more water to run through? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, bug out. I mean, every day it's something. I mean, and it becomes so much of something every day that just in the last few days, people forget, the lockdowns and all the that everybody got. And I mean, I'm sure y'all have heard of the new avian strains that they've got coming out, the new bacteria they've got coming out. I mean, they've got so much stuff coming out that's going to have to do with this and our lockdowns, and all of that stuff hasn't gone away. Yeah, Hu Dao, China has been telling their people to prepare now for a long time. And, their propaganda machine over there is working just like ours. If you watch some Chinese news and outlets and people that know over there, I mean, they can discern and translate to you. And, the Chinese government is just like here. They're riling up the Chinese people to hate the American people. What's going on over in China is our fault. We're the ones causing it. We're the ones creating all of this around the world. They're getting their people stirred up too. I don't know if it would be an internal blast or not. Rare, that was one hell of a blast to be internal. From the videos that I seen, it would lead me to believe there was something incoming on that explosion, and it was rather large. Now, granted, you don't have to make a huge hole in this dam, because once the water starts coming through, you're not going to stop it. But who knows? Again, that's something that we'll never know. Whether it was a briefcase bomb or a missile strike, the evidence is gone. I mean, whatever may have been there as far as a U.S. part or anything from a missile, I mean, now you got parts of U.S. weapons all over Ukraine. So how are you going to differentiate between the two? Yeah, I believe so, Rare. I don't think Putin's going to be giving up Crimea so easy. I don't really think NATO's going to be making too many advances across that river. Again, I don't believe the propaganda coming out over there that we're doing all that good. I mean, that they're not taking heavy losses and heavy casualties on equipment and people. Not to say that Russia's not either, but that's just the thing. Our government has been telling us for the last 50 or 60 years through this Cold War that Russia, the big bad bear, is building up their military. We have to grow and exceed their technology and everything all through this Cold War. And now that everything has come to a head 50 years later, we sit here, the American people, and see that Russia can't even defeat Ukraine over there. I mean, they've been fighting for a year. So either you lied to us about the Cold War and basically robbed us of all this money to make this huge military for no reason because Russia has junk, or Russia hasn't even begun to fight and use their equipment yet. Maybe Russia is China, maybe they're teaming up with China over there and just getting us to use all of our ammunition, all of our resources. I fully believe that China is going to make the move on Taiwan before Biden leaves office. It's a year and a half. Whether he leaves or not, I think they will do it before the next election. So, you got a year and a half. How hard is it going to be to get any of your supplies if China cuts us off? Yeah, shut down all the farms and save the earth. That's the thing, bug out 2030. I mean, I don't think I hear so many people sit around and say, well, what's the event? When is this catastrophic event that's going to happen overnight that's going to bring everybody together and kick off this whole thing? And I don't think that they realize that these people or cults or New World Order or whatever you want to call it, they have a long-term plan, all right? They've already got a plan for 2050. I mean, the 2030 agenda is now an old agenda, and they are rolling on to 2050. Many of the things that they are doing are, you know, beyond 2030. This is going to be a very long haul, a very painful haul. They are going to make it as difficult as they possibly can for all of the people, whether that be food or medicine or transportation or getting your shots, you know, the financials, the currency. They are going to make it as difficult as they possibly can for all people because they want you to beg for this new world order. And they figure if they can make it hard enough and rough enough on you, you will beg for it. Yes, who now? And it's not little by little anymore. They are taking major chunks. I mean, how far down that rabbit hole do you want to go? Have any of y'all heard the new 28th Amendment that the California governor put in? It's pretty much going to basically null and void the Second Amendment. That has been submitted. How about the laws coming out of California to make all of this pedo crap legal and legit? Does that not turn your stomach? Yeah, who doubt? It's the 28th Amendment. Look it up. Mr. Newsom submitted it in. It's pretty much going to null and void the Second Amendment. So, you know, the United States as a whole we're pretty divided half and half. And, you know, they've only got to get a majority of them states to make an amendment to that Constitution. There's lots of ways they can do it, 2/3 of the Congress and 2/3 of the Senate. They can get a majority of the states to go ahead and amend it. And, you know, the way they run the laws and the regulations in Congress and stuff now, it's I wouldn't put it past them. They can probably get it through. Oh, yeah, now there's a bunch of them. All of them, as far as I care. Anyone involved in that political system today is corrupted, blackmailed, traitorous, treasonous, all of them. I have no faith in any government official today. With everything that is going on in the world, I don't fear a Chinaman. I don't fear a Russian. I don't fear an Afghani or an Iranian or a Somalian or none of those guys do I fear danger in my own country, in my house here in Texas. But I do worry about my government and my local law enforcement and the politicians and the I won't even call it the deep state, but you know, the people behind the scenes right here in America. When they discussed our protection, foreign and domestic, you know, our enemies, foreign and domestic, most people here in the U.S. have only seen foreign enemies. Very few domestic problems, real problems. Again, a lot of that has been propaganda and fed to us over time, but we've had few domestic problems here. And now you are seeing the greatest domestic threat to our country. It goes all the way to the very top. And everybody is involved in it. I mean, it ain't just a Biden administration. Who was the general up there that called and gave the information to China when Trump was in? Wasn't it Milley? So what was his name? The big general, you know, called and told China he would let them know if we decided we were going to launch an attack or something. Isn't that the same general that's advising Biden now? I mean, these are the same people running these same positions through each administration. They don't change. Very few of them change. Yeah, rare with everything going on. The radiation deal and the nuclear deal and all that. I ain't going to say I ain't going to believe it. because I'm no nuclear expert. Obviously, this stuff is bad for you. But I think a lot of the hype that people have been taught and told and propagandized on over the last, 40, 50 years is greatly exaggerated. You can look at both. I mean, and we only have a couple of examples to go by here of reality. Because they only got the cojones a couple of times throughout history to drop these things. And both of those cities in Japan today are thriving cities. So nuclear war is not going to bring an end to civilization. It's sure as hell going to change a lot. The world as you know it will end. But it ain't going to kill everybody on the planet. And it's probably not going to take 10,000 years, like they said, for a blade of green grass to grow back. The planet has a natural way of cleansing itself. And when the planet gets tired of the human parasite abusing it, it will cleanse us of that too. So radiation, yeah, it's going to be a problem for a while. And you're going to need to avoid it. And hopefully most people have prepared, the simplest thing, even, iodine. Not everybody can have a bunker. Not everybody can go underground. Not everybody's going to make it underground. A lot of people will be contaminated and die of radiation poisoning afterwards. But there will be people that make it. Well, Hudao, there are many thousands of Chinese immigrants coming across the border. It's not 5 or 10 or 20 or 100. There are many thousands. I have a very close friend that is involved with a lot of that. And he gives me firsthand accounts of what's going on down there. And, it would be very, very simple for any of our enemies around this planet to get people across that border. Very simple. The U.S. government has no control over that southern border whatsoever. Truth be told, the cartels who are in control, they have it worked in such a way now that basically the people coming across have colored armbands as to which day they're going to cross. And it is much easier for them to just, pay their fee and get in line and have the bus take them across. Because now there is no need to run. It's pretty much a walk up to the gate and check yourself in and get a court date, which last I heard last week was running somewhere 10 to 12 years from now. So you walk up to the fence or the gate or the crossing, you sign your piece of paper, they give you a piece of paper and you're free to go for 10 or 12 years. And my understanding of it is these people that they are giving these court dates to appear in the future, they are pretty much going to be treated as citizens of this country. They are going to get medical care. They are going to get housing. They are going to get government subsidies. They will be able to get driver's licenses. They will be able to work, because, of course, the government sees tax money coming in. So they're going to allow them to work with identification, and it will not be long before they are voting. That's probably exactly how that is going to pan out with all of the millions of people that are coming across that border down there. Oh yeah. Well, if you watch the news or any videos, coming across the border down there, mostly the only women that are coming across are holding little kids. But by and large part, probably I would say 80% of them are fighting age men. It's only going to make the situation worse here in the U.S. Every situation. I'm sure many of y'all have noticed the shortages and problems with medical. We've all noticed it since COVID and the lockdowns. Supplies are getting less and less. People are having problems getting their medications. That are scheduled for surgeries and things in hospitals are having problems getting the equipment necessary for these surgeries, or x-rays, or exams, or treatments, whatever they may be. And, you throw millions and millions and millions of more people in on top of that need medical service. I mean, it's not like the majority of these people coming over here are healthy. They're going to get free medical attention. Why not use it? So that's only going to stress our medical system more and more and more. The food. I mean, obviously, everyone has seen it, saying it, preaching about it, the food shortages. What are all these additional millions of people going to do? What are they going to do to your jobs? Jobs already. We all see what's going on. You can't go anywhere and get any good service anymore. A restaurant right here in our little small town closed the other day because they could not get help. They could not get wait staff. So they shut down the whole restaurant. Now, you as an American, even me out here on my farm, I mean, I can't get people to come out here and work for $25 an hour. I've got lots of things to do, and, some buddies and friends and people that I've tried to hire, they don't want to come out here and work for $25 an hour. Now you got millions and millions and millions of people that are going to come across the border, and your job that you are making, $20, $25 an hour job, now these people are willing to do it for $10 or $12 an hour. It's only going to make the situation here worse, all of the situation. Hey, Ken, what's going on? You have a similar one? Yeah. Well, Hoodow, those people are going all over the country. There's nowhere specific that they're sending them to or that they're going. I think misnomer is all of these illegals are pouring across the southern border down here and staying in these southern states, and they're really not. I mean, obviously there are some that stay, but for the biggest part, I mean, we've had immigration problems here in Texas on the southern border and the other southern states forever, ever since there was a border there. So the areas, these cities down here, they're already saturated with these people, the illegals. And sure, some more will come in, and stay. But for the biggest part, they want to go to the interior, the northern areas, the West Coast, the East Coast. They want to get to these areas that are less densely populated by these illegals, where they can get jobs and, the freebies and the money and all of this kind of stuff. Because down here in these southern states, we are not so accommodating to them. And not to mention there's already a bunch here. So, oh yeah, PA and New York, But I assume that's probably what's going to happen to a lot of these large commercial buildings. If y'all have been watching the stock market, real estate, that kind of stuff, that commercial real estate is taking a very large hit right now. And I think just a couple of days ago, one of the 2,000 room Hilton hotels out in California, basically they just gave it back to the bank. $700 million, well, there's actually $1 billion building. But the note they owed on it was about $700 million, and they virtually just gave it back to the bank and said, here, we don't want it anymore. It's hard for them people out there to make any money. I mean, it's a tourist area. And, when you got people that are crapping on the streets and pissing on the streets and robbing you and doing drugs in front of the hotel, it's kind of hard to sell a venue there. So I'm sure a lot of these hotels and businesses, commercial businesses, will be turned into facilities to house these illegals. Hey, Mr. Chicken Snatcher. Tinfoil sombreros. I've had a couple of people suggest that online already. I don't have a sombrero, man. It's hard enough for me to get it on a cowboy hat. I'm trying to upgrade to a cowboy hat, but it's proven rather difficult. But I got an idea. You can't just throw tinfoil on it. It's got to be right to work. Yeah, empty buildings coming up everywhere. But yeah, the whole domino thing has already started to fall. I mean, it's the big world picture. It's not just us here in the U.S. Again, I think that's something that a lot of people just don't really take into consideration when they look at all this. It is a world event that is coming now. These people have been working globally, for 50, 60, 80 years, and they've got it a globalist society now where it is all tied in globally. And it is very difficult for any of us to make it without the rest of everybody pitching in. I mean, the China deal is going to be a perfect example. And every day, our relations with China get worse and worse and worse, which doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I have no love lost there whatsoever. I totally feel that we should be making our own products, our own production, and our own manufacturing. But we have become very reliant on China over the last 50 or 60 years. You can say we've been sold out, blackmailed, stolen, corrupted, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. The reality of it is we depend on China. And the moment that those relationships break the camel's back and China becomes our enemy, they are going to cut us off from everything. I mean, not just the simplest little doodads, that you use every day, but the 80% of the medication that we use here in this country, all right? Much of the agriculture equipment that is manufactured and made is not here in the U.S. I mean, the big things, the well that runs the pump that runs your water well out there, chances are it was manufactured in China. If the product that you need was not manufactured in China, some of the assembly for that product probably was, or the raw materials to make that product came from China. I was just listening to a thing the other day. Mr. Hollis, how are you doing? I was watching a deal the other day about the ammunition. And, I said it a long time ago, buy all of the ammunition that you can. People buy gold, people buy silver. Gold goes up 1-2%, down 1-2%. This is kind of what the gold thing looks like. Same for silver. I mean, it goes up a little, it comes down, goes up. Those metals are manipulated by the powers that be. But ammunition is, it didn't go up just a little bit, it went up a lot. And it's just something that you can hold that's going to increase in value. I mean, the first thing is there is not an operating lead smelter within the United States any longer. EPA regulations shut all of those down. So we don't smelt any lead here. We can't make bullets. The brass for the casings comes from China. Even though it is manufactured here, it comes from China. The raw materials for the powder comes from China. The materials that they make the primers with comes from China. Now, how much ammunition material do you think China is going to send us if we go to war with them? Hey, Long Cowboy, how's it going? Yeah, I think we were bought blackmailed from the inside. Believe it or not, I would say China probably pulls a lot of the strings for a lot of the decisions that are happening right now. Uh, I mean, we all heard the corruption with the potato in charge, accepting money. The FBI not wanting to cooperate, give any evidence. That right there just tells you, where there's smoke, there's fire, guys. The whole Hunter deal, buying his portraits for millions of dollars. I figure those, the politicians, they're all bought and paid. Hey, Tech, how's it going, man? Send you one of those hats. I'm thinking about retiring this one and trying to get to my cowboy hat, but I think China can probably take us without a shot even being fired. I mean, again, look at exactly what's playing out in Ukraine right now. I mean, we're over there using up our weapons, and it's only a matter of time before Taiwan, the area gets hot over there, and then what are we going to do? I mean, they've already come out and said a lot of I heard the deal the other day on the DOD, the Department of Defense. Some of the software that they use to run some of our military equipment is programmed in China, and they're having a hard time getting this information from China on the programming of this DOD equipment. It's just insane the amount of everything going on. And there is absolutely nothing that our government does for us, the people. Yeah, for the new owners, exactly. Well, Hoot, I ain't made my cowboy hat yet. That's just the thing. I've got the design in my head. I just hadn't quite put together yet. But it is going to have antennas, I guarantee you. That whole Middle East thing over there, Ken, is it has been insane over there for thousands of years. And the mere fact that we went over there and stuck our hand in the hornet's nest is, there ain't nothing good going to come out of that. Ever, never, never, ever. I mean, we as a country is just, it just amazes me sometimes. But I understand also, that's the other thing. You hear all of these people complaining, why don't somebody stand up? Why don't somebody do anything? Who is going to do anything? That's the real question. Who's going to do anything? You're depending on the FBI or, what other three-letter alphabet agency are you planning on standing up and doing anything? I mean, they are all controlled by the administration. We've seen exactly how they operate, through the last 4 or 5 years. Whether you want to believe everything that happened to Trump or not, it happened. That's the reality of it. I mean, he was supposed to be the leader of the free world, and you know what he got done? Absolutely nothing. Look at where we are today. What did he get done? Was he the less evil of two choices? Probably so. But those two, the right wing of the bird and the left wing of the bird, that bird is flying down the same road, going the same direction. Exactly, Tony. Deep, deep, deep state. I heard another guy talking about it the other day, and he didn't say deep state. He called it something else. And see, you got the government that you see, which is, the puppet in charge, whoever that may be, right or left, it doesn't matter. And then you would have the deep state, which would probably consist of, I think they call it floor 7 down there at the CIA building or something like that. And then you got the shadow government, which is actually the people that call the shots. So you got about 3 layers of government there. And the ones that we see on the front are merely puppets. They're merely a talking head out there to tell you what you want to hear and make you think that they're in charge of doing something. Yeah, Stuart, what is the deal on all of this volcanism going on? Obviously, it has increased over time. The last 20, 30 years, it's gotten worse. And I would only expect those charts to get worse as our ability to detect, understand these things going on around the planet. I would only assume that that would increase with our technology and understanding of how it works. But obviously, there are, it's busy. Things are shaking. And my issue with that is why? Is it because of the the sun? The sun has a lot to do with our planet and the way things operate in the solar system. So is it, you know, magnetics of the sun, temp of the sun? Is it something to do with the sun? Is it something else coming in? Maybe Nibiru, Planet X, whatever you want to call it. I mean, what's causing this sudden rise in volcanism all over the planet that suddenly now our crust is going to shift and whatever happens is going to happen? What's causing that? No, there's not a political solution to it, Ken. No, Tony, we will never know who is calling those shots. I mean, all of the names that you hear, I don't care who they are. Soros, Biden, Obama, Reagan, Trump, Kissinger, JFK. It doesn't matter what name, because if you're getting the name and you get to see that person, they're not the one in charge. The ones pulling those strings, they're deep, deep, deep Rothschild, buried, marriage, cousin, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I can guarantee you those people in control are probably one of 4 or 5 of those big families. And bought your place on a computer. Exactly, Stuart. And that's what I'm saying. What does it really matter now at this point? If you haven't caught on to the direction that everything is going, you are in dire trouble. And I am not the one to sit here and tell you what you need to do and how to do it and what you got to have and what you're going to do to make it. I mean, I'm doing what I think is the best for me and my family, but whatever you do is going to be totally up to you. I can't tell you that you're right or wrong for what you do or what you try or what you're trying to do. Is Klingon in here? Hey, KP, good to see you. Hey, Bug Out, thanks for coming by and staying in a little while. Oh, it's already 11 o'clock. Exactly, Tony. That's the only thing that we can do is prepare ourselves and be more self-reliant. I mean, unfortunately, I don't want to bang on the military any, but as long as they keep getting these young people signed up to go over there and fight in these foreign wars and do their dirty bidding for them, I think we're probably going to continue to have this problem. I mean, there is no shortage of the military-industrial complex wanting to make money, and they're going to do that at the cost of our sons and daughters and brothers and mothers and fathers, and that's how they do it. Until we, the people, get smart enough and bold enough to quit letting these politicians do this to us, we're going to continue to face this problem. And it is deep enough now and corrupt enough now that I don't think you're going to be able to change it. I don't think a vote is going to make any difference. Yeah, Ken and Tech, the atmospheric spraying. Yeah. Just imagine, you guys, look every day, pretty much you can go out any day and look up into the sky and see what they're spraying on us, right? Now, imagine what they are spraying on us at night when you can't see and when the majority of us are asleep. Hey, NG, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by, man. We're just hanging out, chit chatting. Raining and hailing. Damn, you can send the rain down here. You can keep all the hail and the sinking Titanic, but we'll take some rain. Heck, Ian, there ain't no telling what they're spraying on us, putting on us, injecting in us, GMO stuff. I mean, I know you've all heard what now is not going to have the vaccine. I mean, I've heard everything. They're injecting the meat, they're injecting the chickens, they're injecting the pigs. I even heard a few weeks ago that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation had given money to inject 100 million wild animals here within the U.S. Basically, whatever they could catch, I guess, or shoot with a tranquilizer dart. But they had given the funds, the go-ahead, to vaccinate 100 million animals here in the U.S. I don't believe for a second that all of that vaccination lockdown thing is over, guys. I think it's totally coming back. Whether it be the new super duper avian flu strain that they have or the new bacterial strain that they have. I mean, I don't doubt one bit that they probably ain't going to get that up there around a 30 or 40% kill rate and unleash it upon us. Exactly, Tony. All that we can do. I mean, that's the thing that gets me with YouTube, and I ain't going to bash anybody here on YouTube, but there are so many channels out there that want to pretend this off-grid homesteading lifestyle is so easy. You know, it's all fun and games on YouTube, but I know Tony can attest to how much work it is actually out there to get it done. And you know, you can put in 8 hours a day out there on your homestead and still probably not be self-reliant. We all depend on that grid so heavily. I mean, it's just it's crazy. Yeah, that's the one thing, man. Y'all guys, y'all are gonna have to get out of those cities and get you a place out in the country and try and raise some of your own food. Yeah, NG, they get about 46% of mine because anything that I make now is a capital gains tax being retired, and they get about 46% of it. It's just crazy. I mean, I don't know what we can do anymore as a people. I mean, there's no way that we as a people are ever going to be able to come together. They've got that far controlled, and they're going to put their finger on it and quash any kind of community event. You get what I'm saying? No, Odessa, and to be honest with you, I don't know anybody on YouTube that is off grid. There's a few people that come pretty close and do a pretty good job, but for the biggest part, you know, and I don't see a lot of the smaller channels out there. Obviously, the big channels are the ones that get, you know, pushed for you to see, but I don't really know of any big channels out there that are off grid. And the biggest reason for that is, in my mind, and again, I'm an older guy, you know, I'm over 50. So when you say off grid to me, it instantly throws my mind into the guy that has gone to the mountains and he is, you know, off grid. There's no ID, there's no driving, there's no going to town, there's no getting supplies, there's no, you you have gone out there to get away from people and civilization, and you're off grid. And these people today, their off grid is going to Home Depot and stopping by Walmart and stopping by Burger King on the way home, and reading fan mail on YouTube. And it's how much is acreage here in East Texas? Well, Tech, we've got some land for sale, and ours is listed at $20,000 an acre. And we've only got two 5-acre tracts left. We had 7, and we've only got 2 left. So we have sold 5 in the last year and a half at roughly $20,000 an acre. So it's still pretty pricey around here, but again, it's location, location, location. As with everywhere, I mean, in my county here, around where we are, it's a relatively nice area. Not a lot of drugs and low income and things like that around, which makes a difference. So the land around this area is higher. You can go 10 miles off in another direction down there, and it goes to $10,000 an acre. Yeah, being completely off grid is very, very difficult. I've done it for a few years. I have a cabin in the woods out here that it's not attached to the grid and does not have any water wells or anything like that, and it is completely heated off grid. And you can take a generator out there and run it, but it's really not set up for that. And when the sun goes down, the lights go out, and your day's over. Yeah, Angie, that's another problem is a lot of people think it's going to be like camping. I don't think it ain't going to be like camping, and it ain't going to be like the movies, all right? For one, most camping gear is just not going to make the test of time when you use it every day. There is better stuff out there, but for the biggest part, the majority of people, what they have, their Walmart camping stuff, is just not going to stand the test of time out there living in it. Yeah, Tech, there are some springs around in the area. Obviously, Texas is not known for its water. But one of the lots that I actually sold over there, I sold it to a friend of mine, a very close acquaintance, has a spring-fed creek which runs through it. The other properties do not, but the one does. So there are some springs around in the area. You can dig a surface well here about 40 feet and get surface water. KP, if you're seriously consider moving, the weather is going to play a big part in it. And, you can live up north. Obviously, people do it, and they have for a long time. But surviving in the cold in a grid down situation is going to be very, very difficult. It makes everything twice as hard when it's cold. So I would highly suggest that you go south. And also going south increases the number of growing days and your harvest season on anything that you can grow. Here where we're at is average about 260 to 280 growing days in the year. So there's really only a few months in there that we can't grow here in Texas year round. Obviously, you can get further south and eliminate that, but you don't want to get too far over on the East Coast, Florida. You don't want to get too close to the coast anywhere because of the hurricanes, rising water threats. Insurance, when you get closer to water, is drastically higher. Building codes are different. I did a lot of research when I picked the area to which I live here. And it was probably 10 years ago, but Actually, it was a county about 3 or 4 counties up in the panhandle of Florida. It was actually rated some of the best area to live in. If you'll go do some research simply on gardening and growing, you'll pretty much see a line that runs east to west across the United States. And it dips down, I would say up around Virginia somewhere, middle of California, kind of dips down to Oklahoma. Anything above that line is more difficult growing. Tony, the magnetic flip is obviously happening. I mean, we have at least evidence that they're telling us the pole is moving. And there's evidence through time, whether it be in the rocks, the lava, some other lava flows that show, magnetics were different. So it is possible. Now, how big of a flip and what's going to be entailed in that flip and what's going to happen, who knows? None of us were here when it happened last time, so we don't know. How is it going to affect electric motors, magnetics? I mean, in all honesty, without magnetics and magnets, you don't have electric motors. All of that is going to go away. I don't know how it will affect magnetics in that stuff, but it's affecting our runways, our planes, the way we fly. It's already doing all of that. I don't even know if it's going to be a fact of most people accepting those conditions rare. I just don't think they're going to be able to deal with them. And it's going to come on very quickly. You all know 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Just think of all the masses, the millions and millions and millions of people that don't have access to drinking water. Hey, MB, how's it going? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, MB. I'm glad you got any notification at all. YouTube don't like me, so. But just think about all those people that are going to be without water in those first 3 or 4 days. And then you begin to multiply the amount of people that don't have that clean water. How many of them is it going to kill? Well, now you've got millions and millions and millions, and it's easy to say millions, but do people realize how bad the situation becomes when you have millions and millions and millions of dead people around? Yeah, Ken, there is no part of this situation that's getting any better. It's exactly why I said today is going to be the best that it's going to get. Because tomorrow it's going to get a little worse. Now, tomorrow, when we get to tomorrow is going to be as good as it's going to get. Because the day after that, I can guarantee you it's going to get a little worse. Whatever it may be. The nuclear plant blowing up, the dam getting blown up, war in Taiwan, the bacteria outbreak here. I mean, it's compounding daily. It's not just that all the systems are weakening, Ken. I mean, they are intentionally doing things to them to make the situation worse. I mean, who hasn't heard of all the financial issues with the banks? I mean, I don't know what rock you're living under if you haven't heard it, but all of these promises that they're making to you about the American people are not going to pay for that. I can guarantee you that not our tax dollars, because they're already spent, but your grandchildren's tax dollars, those are what's bailing those banks out right now. I mean, the federal government doesn't have any money. Okay, they don't make money. They have to go to the Fed to get that money. And to get that money, they have to make a loan. And we are the ones that are going to have to pay that loan back. And they have stretched that money so far, I don't even think people can grasp the concept of how far in debt we are at $32 trillion. And now, this last debt ceiling deal, they've basically eliminated the debt ceiling. They can spend as much money as they want to spend, trillions and trillions of dollars. And how much of that do we see here in the U.S. taking care of us, the people that are supposed to pay this debt? I mean, if they could handle our money correctly in our government, we probably wouldn't even have to pay taxes, to be honest. I mean, we'd be like the people over in Saudi that are getting $100,000 checks every year, and the homeless guys driving a Mercedes. The people in control do not. It gives my blood to boil. I mean, the amount of money these people have spent is incredible. You can't. They have spent our money and our kids' money and our grandkids' money. Kids that ain't even born yet. They are spending their money. That's how far in debt we are. Now, what do you think the rest of the world is going to do when they have awoken up to the fact that we won't be able to pay our debt back? That's the whole thing with this BRICS thing coming on. And that is growing exponentially every day. You can hear the propaganda here in the U.S. and everything is fine and everything is safe and our financials are all good and, our sanctions are working over there in Russia and we're hurting them and the rest of the world is hurting, blah, blah, blah. The rest of the world is moving on with the BRICS, okay? They're buying into this other currency. It's backed by gold. Other countries, not everybody agrees with the Western world. And when they've had enough, and they're going to dump us like a hot potato. Yeah, Ken, hey, Sweet Savory. The budget was only raised $4 trillion. Well, I know, Sweet. I heard the aliens landed in Las Vegas last night. They just must be out there partying it up and gambling it up. I mean, not last night, maybe yesterday. It might have been a couple of days now, but they're out there in Sin City living it up, man. I mean, surely a couple of days now they would have made it to the White House in an announcement. Be interesting to see what actually happened out there if we could ever find out. Yeah, $4 trillion, that'll last a few days. Exactly, MB. I mean, really, guys, what would you do if somebody came and handed you a credit card and said, hey, there's no limit, man, just go get whatever you need to get? I mean, there's no logical thought that goes into the process of our government anymore. I don't see it as an American citizen. I don't see it. And I ain't the smartest guy or the sharpest tool in the shed. And even I can figure it out. Where is he getting those billions of dollars, Pete? Well, he's getting them from the Fed. They're going to sell a bunch of T-bills. Basically that's it. They're not going to pay down the debt, though, because our whole society and economy is based on debt. A false fiat debt. You go to the bank and you say, hey, I need to take out a loan to buy this house over here. $1 million. Well, they don't hand you $1 million to go buy your house. It's just written on a piece of paper on the computer. Okay, well, here's your $1 million. We're going to transfer that over to this other account over here. And no money ever exchanged hands, but $1 million in debt was just created. Just poof, just like that. $1 million. Here, $1 billion. Oh, we need to send $1 billion over to Ukraine. It's so easy. You understand how the banking system works. When they loan $1 from the Fed, they can loan $100 on the $1 that they loaned. So when you put $1 into the bank, the bank can loan, $100 against your $1. It's the problem with all the banks now. They've loaned all this money, and it's just imaginary money now. Western Wisconsin. Wisconsin be a little too cold for me. Yeah, Tech, November is here. It's almost here. I know you're going to be one of the first ones down there in line to get your little sticker, your I voted sticker. I got faith that you're going to show up. Hey, be good, Ken. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just insane, guys. I mean, I have given up trying to keep up with it and decipher. I don't even want to say right from wrong anymore, because it's far beyond right and wrong. I mean, it's into the moral thing now. I mean, it's not even morally right anymore what's happening. And there ain't nothing that we, the people, can do about it. I mean, your vote is not going to matter. The machine is going to keep rolling on. It doesn't matter who they put in there. There is no election process. It is a selection process. And if you're not going to go along with the program, you're never going to be selected. Someone like me or Tech or NG, you could never be president. All right. You're not going to go along with the program. You're not going to check all those boxes, and they're not going to let you be selected. I mean, have you seen all of these dumbasses that are already coming out on these tickets? I mean, these guys have already ran 10 years ago and lost, and now they're going to come back onto the ticket and run again and win. I mean, I heard Christie, the guy up in New Jersey or wherever, was back on the ticket. What in the hell could he possibly offer this country? Arizona's good. It's a little dry for me, Ken. I'm from West Texas. Out there is where I grew up. So as soon as I got old enough to turn the keys on the car and get the hell out of there, I headed east where there's some water and trees. Hey, NG, stay good, man. Stay safe. Yeah, Dessa, we talked about the fires a little bit. I mean, what can you say about it? I mean, again, I have to think at it logically. All of the technology and all of the assets that we have at our disposal today in our country, much less Canada. We're supposed to be allies and neighbors and friends here. Out of all of the assets that both of our countries possess, we can't go put out some damn forest fire. I mean, I heard today the Department of Defense and the Pentagon were bringing together thousands of airplanes that they have mothballed, over the last 30 years. They're bringing out every possible flying plane that they can in preparation for the upcoming war. But yet we can't amass enough tankers or airplanes to go put out a forest fire. It just doesn't make, any sense. Yeah, KP, we all got to do that. And I'm a firm believer in my faith as well. But I don't think the intention was for us to sit by and wait for that to happen. I think it's a test. It's going to be a test for us to stand up against that good versus evil. Choices will have to be made. Difficult choices. But I think we were all put here for a reason. at this time, right now, the most exciting times. I mean, if you believe that this is truly the end, you know how miraculous it's going to be to witness the end of all of this. I mean, it's been here a long time, and we get to be a part of the end. I would say that's pretty special. Yeah, Tech East, man, we got the trees and the water. And if you were in Tyler and Palestine, you were within 30 or 45 miles of my place out here, because I am between Tyler and Palestine. I think Canagen was down here a few weeks ago. He made it down to Texas. Yeah, and I'm kind of biased, man. I think Texas is perfect, but for all intents and purposes, I mean, it does serve the purpose well. It's warm. I don't like cold. The growing season is good down here. We don't get a lot of the severe weather, although the weather patterns have been changing, whether that be naturally or climate change, whichever one you want to agree with, doesn't matter. It is changing in reality. Actually, the county that I live in here, when we bought the place here about 10 years ago, there had not been a tornado in the county for almost 90 years. In the last 10 years, since we've had a house here, there's been almost 10 tornadoes in the county. So, yeah, bad roads are, I have to say our county roads are not probably the worst around here. All of our county roads are paved, blacktop at least. We don't have any dirt county roads per se. There's a few private drives that are dirt, but most everything gets blacktop here in the county. But that makes it harder for them to keep up with. And when they degrade, specifically when we get ice and snow, it tears the hell out of them because they are not made for it. So it takes the county a while to get back around and repair them. And with the ice and snow that we've had the last 4 or 5 years, it is a mass cluster F of potholes, I can tell you that. Damn, I didn't even throw the stream up there. I forgot I was even on StreamYard, see if anybody else wanted to come up. JW still in the chat? What else y'all want to talk about? Yeah, we've covered a lot here tonight. My point, guys, was, today's as good as it's going to get. Enjoy today, because tomorrow's going to be a little worse. It's cold enough for me. I'll call it snow, Tech. I am definitely no expert on snow for sure. But we've gotten a hell of a lot of it here in Texas in the last few years. Too much. And unfortunately for me, I didn't spend the extra 10 grand to get my solar panels put on a tilted setup up there. So everything that sits on top of my garage is flat. When it snows, they don't work, which ain't good. I'm going to step off for a second, guys. Come up with something for us to talk about. Y'all entertain yourselves. I'll be right back. No, get in here. Let's let them puppies out. Since it's all bad news, does anybody got any good news? Not personal good news. I mean, you take your personal good news, but any world good news? Hey, LD, you're out of here, sweet? Well, thanks for stopping by. Can a raccoon give chicken rabies? It probably could, but every time I've had a chicken get on, or a raccoon get on one of my chickens, the chicken, he didn't turn out so good. So I don't think rabies was a problem. But I guess if one got on a chicken and didn't kill him, I guess it would be possible. Crematorium included. Yeah, I don't know that crematorium idea is such a good idea either. I mean, I'm sure whether it was real or not, y'all saw the videos coming out of China. I mean, they got bodies stacked over there and can't get them burned fast enough. So who knows how that's going to go? Yeah, Dessa, I would assume rabies could probably be passed on to anything, I guess, that's living. That was a good question, but I've never had a coon or a chicken live through the coon attack. I don't know that they have any faith in the government, NG, but they just depend on the government. I mean, I think it's up to about 60% now receive some form of a government subsidy. And not that that's a bad thing. There are people out there that definitely deserve it, but I think there are probably far more people on the dole government tit than need to be. I mean, 40% of the people that work in America pay for the other 60% to live. I don't agree with it. I mean, if you are deserving or entitled to whatever it is, subsidy program, sure. But we all know the abuses of the system. And they don't do anything about it. They don't correct anything. That's the problem. Again, we are depending on these people to police themselves, and the criminals ain't going to throw themselves in jail, folks. All right, there's two sets of laws. If you haven't seen that by now, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Look at what's going on right up there in your capital. Look at what's going on. Look at what they're doing around the world. And you tell me the justice system is equal. It's not. It never will be under their control. I mean, again, who are you expecting to stand up and do something? One of the 3-letter alphabets that are controlled by that administration? Ain't going to happen. You think somebody in the military is going to stand up and do something about it? That's not going to happen either. I mean, I would say probably most, if not all, of our higher ranking officials are either bought and paid off or blackmailed by this point. Yeah, I saw that, MB. That was part of the whole thing with the alien deal. He's not the first guy that has come out and said, that the government's got stuff. I mean, who was the other dude that said he worked out there at Area 51? He said it for years and years. I mean, personally, I don't know if we have any alien technology or not, but I used to work for a lot of military places: NASA, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Vought, Lockheed Martin, Bell Helicopter. Dallas Semiconductor, Texas Instruments. I worked for all of those places, and I have seen some technology that if the general public was to see it, would probably believe that it's alien. What it was, I have no idea. I don't claim to know, but I know what I saw is very different from any other thing that most people have seen, and would probably claim it to be alien. Whether it is or not, I have no idea. I don't, again, I take that whole thing about aliens logically. And if those people, or let's not even say people, let's say aliens, if those aliens have the technology to get from wherever they are to here, the first thing is I don't think they're going to be stupid enough to crash into our planet. And the second thing is, if they're that far advanced, I don't really think that they want anything to do with us. There wouldn't be anything that we could give them that would benefit their interaction with us. It'd be much like us probably interacting with monkeys. What's going on, Bradley? Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Angie, I've seen some weird things flying around all the time. I mean, I can pretty much go out any night of the week here when it's clear down here in Texas and see things flying around that are not normal. And I've got a thermal scope on one of my rifles, a FLIR, a forward-looking infrared, and it picks up a lot of heat signatures, that you wouldn't normally see. And I've pointed the thing to the sky many times, and there are a lot of things flying around up there that we don't see. They don't all have flashy lights on them and make noise, I can guarantee you. There's got to be alien patriots. Come on, Tech. That's why they came. The alien patriots came to save us. We got something special cooking too. I can't mention it, but we're cooking up a couple of special things. It's just crazy, guys. I mean, that's what I've been telling everybody for months now, man. I'm already operating as though the shit is at the fan. Nothing that they tell me or do anymore really surprises me. I mean, I'm not expecting the big drop overnight grid down event. I really expect it to be long term and for them to torture and punish us for as long as they possibly can until we beg for their oppression. I mean, that's how hard I think they're going to put the pressure on us. The people are going to beg for their oppression. And the New World Order is going to give that to them, whatever that may be. A one world government, a one world religion, a one world health system. And in their process of doing all that, they're going to eliminate a lot of us. I know most of y'all have probably heard of Deagle. They've been pretty close on target with most of their projections throughout their company time. Hey, Tony, thanks for stopping by. I really wanted to go up to Jan's meeting. Hell, I wanted to go to the meeting in Oklahoma, but it's much like my time here on YouTube, man. I just don't have time to get away and do those kind of things. I ain't got time to upload videos. We are doing the things around here, busy. Well, thanks for stopping by, Tony. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's you can call it the Antichrist or the New World Order or Godzilla, whatever it is. They want you to bow and comply to it, and they want to be able to control you during and through that process. That's the ultimate goal, is control. And for us that don't want to comply and don't want to go along with it, it's no loss of feeling for them. They don't care. That's the whole thing with the new digital currency and new digital IDs and new vaccine passports coming out. These people do not care if you participate or not. They really don't, because it only makes it harder on you. Yeah, it's going. I think it's going to be long term too, Tech. I mean, they've already told us, they got Agenda 2030 and Agenda 2050. So they're planning, 10, 20, 30 years out into the future. And these same families are going to be in control, 30, 40 years, 50 years into the future. I just don't see it changing. Yeah, exactly, MD. I mean, I love YouTube and the people and the friendships that I have made on here, and I'm really trying to put up some information, to help people, whether that be on homesteading or prepping or, the chickens or whatever. I mean, if you help one person, it was probably worth it, but it just becomes so much that, I need a camera crew. I need somebody out here just to film what I do and let them edit it and put it up. I'll do it. Somebody else just needs to film it and edit it. Well, KP, we're trying. I mean, it is no guarantee. There's nothing that I have here that guarantees my survival any more than anybody else. I mean, I hope the things that we do around here help, but really, I don't even consider myself a prepper. I mean, I do the things that I do because I enjoy them, and I think it is what's probably best for my family, but I wouldn't consider myself a prepper. And if you're a homesteader and you do the things on your homestead and raise your own food, it's commonplace for you to put your food up and put your food back and save and store and all that. I probably take it to the extreme a little bit and keep stuff, extra stuff. But it's just what I enjoy to do. That's, a lot of the disagreements I have with what people call themselves preppers and stuff on YouTube. I mean, it's going out and buying yourself a bunch of canned food or a bunch of emergency food does not make you a prepper. It is a lifestyle, not a fad. And when you become a real prepper or a homesteader, you're going to find out just how much work it is. And it's not all rainbows and unicorns and Skittles in the real world like what YouTube makes it look like to me. Was it your birthday, sweet? Well, happy birthday. Yeah, being 70 is a big deal. Hell, at 52, I feel bad already. I give much gratitude to those older folks that still get out there and do it because it's got to be tough. I don't know if we got a bead on anything, KP. I mean, that's another thing with the whole YouTube online community. Everybody comes out with all this intel and breaking news and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think anybody really has any breaking news or knows more than anybody else. I don't know personally anybody in the military, intelligence, FBI, any of those three-letter alphabet gangs that are going to ruin their reputation and their career and their life to give some jackass YouTuber a little tidbit of information that may or may not, So I think at this point, it is really a matter of a personal choice to each individual out there. You're either going to see the way that this is going or you don't. You either agree and comply and go along with it or you don't. We are past the point of, trying to separate those people out. And You need not look any further than the statistics that they give you, either for the election or for the shot or anything. I mean, how many people voted in the last election that they told us? Roughly half of the population of the U.S. How many people have gotten the shot around the world? Roughly 60%. I mean, those 60% of people are just going to go along with the program. They're going to comply. They're going to do what they're told. They're going to own nothing and be happy. They're going to eat the bug burgers and the bug Fritos and the bug Doritos, and they're not going to have a problem with it. They're doing it right now. I mean, if you haven't noticed or looked at the ingredients on most of the food that you're eating, it is bioengineered. It has bioengineered product in it. They are already putting the worms and the bugs and the proteins and all of that into your food. They've already told us that they're all going to vaccinate all the cattle and the chickens, and they're going to put all of that mRNA stuff in all of our food. They're already doing it. So if you're not already on this adventure of trying to be self-reliant and raise your own food, it only gets more difficult every day. Today is the best that it's going to get, guys. Today is the best that it's going to be. Now, sure, there may be days coming where on an individual basis, we may have better days or, something good may happen. But for the overall aspect of the bigger picture, it only gets worse day by day. I operate as though the shit is at the fan, and I use every day that they give me as an opportunity to improve my situation here. I mean, in all honesty, I don't know how much further I can take the property that we have here as far as a homestead or a retreat or a compound, whatever you want to call it. And we have set this place up to create our own solar energy. We set it up to raise our own food with gardens. We have animals here that, we can raise, hatch, grow. We can produce meat and food, vegetables and fruits. There's plenty of firewood, water. I've done just about everything that I can do at this place here to make it as prepared as possible for whatever may come. So I don't keep making videos pounding that stuff into y'all's head. I mean, I know there's new people coming along and new people wanting to learn, but I can only make so many canning videos, and I can only give you so many farm updates. I mean, things don't change here on the farm too much, and I don't make videos for clicks and views and money off of YouTube. Yeah, prep everything that you possibly can. I just can't live up there in the snow like that, Rare. It's I ain't got much insulation on me. Exactly, and sweet, the best prep that you can have is not food and water and ammo and all of that other stuff. Your noggin right up here and the ability for you to be able to use that and improvise in a situation and come up and make something work or logically think something out is going to be very important, because in today's dumbing down of society, whether it be the indoctrination from the public school system or the dissolvence of the family and morals or video games or whatever you want to call it, that logical thinking just does not, it's just not there anymore. The common courtesy to other people, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, it's just, it's all blurred now, whether morally blurred or physically blurred or financially blurred. It's just all mixed in together now. Hey James, what are you doing here? Researching the what? Flow area live and strategy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind they have had this plan for a long time. Cloward pivot strategy. I would believe they have all kinds of strategies that they are working multiple angles on this all at one time. I mean, who was the other guy that wrote the papers 100 years ago that told everybody exactly how World War I was going to happen, World War II, and World War III were going to play out? Yeah, who canning some meat up is definitely good. Remember, the freshest stuff is kept on the hoof. I'm not a big Alaskan prepper fan, James, but I definitely go by there and maybe give it a listen. Yeah, they've used immigrants for since the beginning of time. The mass immigration is it's always been a problem. You got the haves and the have-nots. They'll always use one against the other. Yes, that is all very good, but you must remember you can't sit around on the couch and do that. I mean, his plan was for you to act and do something, not to sit around and wait. That's just my belief. You can sit around and wait all you want. I'm not going to sit and wait. They put us here for a reason, and it wasn't to sit on the couch and, you know, think all of a sudden that you've been a perfect enough person that you're just going to disappear and be in the pearly gates of heaven. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I didn't ever read nothing in the Bible where it said it was going to be that easy. I do remember a lot about those being a test and a lot of hard times and a lot of bad times and a lot of things that people could never imagine that they were going to see. Dave, what are you going on, buddy? I have not forgot about you, Dave. I am going to send your quail eggs in the next 2 days. We had a good hatch that came out last week, so I know they're all fertile. So I'm going to send you your eggs this week. I'm going to keep my cloak and my sword, Dave. But if you've only got a cloak, you might want to sell it and get a sword at this point. It's getting pretty close. I will watch that, James. Yes, we have been, fortunately, well, I shouldn't say fortunately, but this year I did not spend a lot of time planting or trying to get a garden in. We are trying to expand on our garden area and prepare that area and soil. So I haven't spent a lot of time this year gardening. We've got a few things in, growing and playing, but this year's time, we put up so much last year. We canned almost 800 jars last year. So this year I laid off of the garden and I'm trying to focus on getting things expanded out and some land cleared. And we've actually got another greenhouse to put up. Trying to sort out everything with the chickens and the goats and the pigs. And hey, Ark, how's it going, man? Glad you could stop by. It's 12 o'clock already. I can't believe you only got me to stay up this late. You got you some quail rails for your hatcher? That's good. They do work a lot better. I think we were about 80% on the hatch rate. There for a few weeks, it was just our or a month. It just didn't seem like anything wanted to hatch. I don't know if my boys weren't doing their job or what the deal was, but I got them switched around and they're doing a little better. So you were surprised to find me up? Actually, I'm usually up pretty late, piddling or working on something. Hell, I can't get the chickens to bed till 10 o'clock. And that is the truth, Dave. The projects never end, man. I mean, it's you finish one, you got 10 more to do. I have been piling and piling and piling compost for the last week. I've got piles and piles around everywhere, but now that I got the garden area clear, I've got to move it all to the garden area. And I think we're probably going to bring in maybe about 80 yards more of compost. We've got a big facility over here in town that makes it. Yeah, you're a couple hours behind me out there. No, Sweet can't do anything, and he made it all possible. So, again, I don't doubt any of that. I just don't think the test and the trip home is going to be so easy. I think they've said in there a few times, a lot of people probably think they're going to get in, but I think a lot fewer are probably actually going to. And there ain't no guarantee I'm getting in either. I try every day. That's all we can do. Yeah, and bacon seeds, Odessa. Exactly. That's this will be my first time having some piglets, so it ought to be interesting. And I think Gizmo has done his due out there, and my understanding is it's like 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. 3, and 3. So yeah, we gotta be getting some baby bacon seeds. They were planted last week. That is true, Savory. He'll never give us more than we can handle. I have that belief as far as a lot of things go, and money. He ain't gonna give you something that you don't deserve or can't handle. So, beef seeds. Well, my neighbor back over here behind me has about. Last time I talked to him a couple of years ago, he had about 300 bacon seeds out there. So. Hoot out. All you got to do, man, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, come down here and I can give you some bacon seeds. We got bacon seeds, chicken seeds, goat seeds, emu seeds, quail seeds. We got just down there any kind of seed that you need. If I ain't got it, MB probably does. Cow farts make cow parts. No, really, Hoot, if you're looking for a pig, man, let me know. We're going to have some babies here in a couple months. And I ain't going to keep them all. I know Bland's may want 1 or 2. And I'm going to keep one that we're going to process out here. But if you're looking for one to process or one to breed, they are red wattles. They are a good pig. You come just to fish in the RV park? I know, Dave. And I can't keep nobody around here, man. I mean, I've been trying to hire high school kids at $15 an hour, and they don't want to come work. It's really not even fishing at the RV park, UMB. It's catching. It's crazy the amount of fish that's in there. We took some kids out there fishing a few weeks ago. I think I uploaded the pictures of the girls, but there were 4 kids out there and 4 adults, and the adults couldn't keep the fish off of the hooks fast enough. They were just standing in line trying to get the fish off of the hooks. But it's great to take kids out there and let them fish and catch. They do enjoy it. But don't say that, Dave. I might have an opening coming up. I can take yourself. Let me get a drink. Nothing like a good Dr. Pepper at midnight. Sure, that's going to help me sleep. Yeah, the RV park. I had that idea a few years ago whenever we sold our place down there on the river. I figured with the way things were heading, it wasn't going to be long before they were going to be a mass evacuation of houses, people getting out of those mortgages. So I figured a lot of people be going into RVs, and RV park would be a good income. And then it hadn't turned out too bad. We're full over there now. Actually, we got one spot open, but I'm assuming it's going to ramp probably in the next couple of weeks. We stayed full from the very opening and even through the expansion. I mean, as soon as the new spots went up, they were pretty much filled. Yeah, the hawk I caught out here, yeah, he went over to the RV park. Crazy Dave spot. Well, I got some family over there taking care of it now, Dave, but I don't know how long they're going to want to do that. So it is a really nice place over there. MB, we lucked out when we found it. We've been really lucky with our property investments to find some nice property, great locations. It's hard to go wrong over there at the Canton area anyway. I mean, they've got that first Monday over there every month, and Canton goes from probably, I don't know what Canton population is, maybe 10 or 15,000 people to First Monday Park. I mean, there are weekends there where there's a couple of 100,000 people. And they do it every month. So anything that you can do over in that area, I mean, you can pretty much make a monthly business salary on those 3 or 4 day weekends. We got a tent, no RV. Well, we're actually thinking about buying some tiny houses and setting up out there on the other side of the river. I mean, the other side of the lake. Because that's a 20-acre property, and we only use 10 acres of it for the RV park. So we still got 10 acres over there to do something with. We're just thinking about buying some of them tiny houses and setting up over there and renting for the first Monday weekend. So if I got somebody to stay out there and take care of it, I could either set them up in an RV or a tiny house. You want a tiny house? I've done the tiny house thing, guys, and it's not for me. My cabin over there is about It's 14 foot wide and about 40 foot long, and it's actually buried in the side of a mountain. It's underground. So they sound nice, but to be honest with you, my problem with them is, and I hate to be so graphic here, but in a tiny house, you go take a dump over here in your bathroom, and then you get up and go over here to eat your breakfast, you're just about 5 feet away from where you just took a dump. So a tiny house becomes very, very tiny. Only if you can have a dog. Well, pets are welcome out there at the RV park. Oh yeah, hire JW. That's kind of the thing is we don't hire anybody. We pay for your place to live, and we pay for your electric, and we pay for your water. So, tiny house with an outhouse. Yeah, exhaust fan. It's still not the same, and I can only tell you, you'll only experience it whenever you have lived in a tiny house. I close in on you very quickly. What I would tell you is be sure that you have a very nice outdoor area. My porch is about as big as my tiny house is over there. So, hey, Arizona, long time no see, man. Thanks for stopping by. We just in here chewing the fat on all the current events. And NG, if you come down here to Texas and you don't say bye, hi, man, I'm gonna be disappointed. Yeah, or your ex-mother-in-law. uh, are y'all getting any of that smoke down there, MB? I already was getting into Virginia yesterday, so I figured it'd be getting down there to y'all before too long. Woo! 531 square feet, 3 kids. I specifically built this 5,000 square foot house here just because I got 2 kids and I want to put them on the complete opposite end as me. Oh yeah, slaving away for them Fiats. No smoke in Colorado. I think it's all to the east over there. Right. Foggy and you can smell it. Well, I saw today, I think it cleared up a little bit up in the northeast, but I can only assume that it's going to get worse. I ain't heard anything about any firefighting capability or trying to put it out. I mean, I guess I'm sure they are on some local level, but do I ride golf carts in my house? No. It's actually just a big barndominium hoot owl. It's not like, I mean, it's just a big barn is all it is. The house isn't actually that big. It's just 3,200 square feet. But Ann wanted a big peaked roof on it, which gave us a 2-story. And it's got an underground level on it where I keep all of my solar batteries and stuff. So it's actually probably like 3 stories. But it's not over exaggeratingly big. It's just a big freaking barn. But again, I got 2 9-year-old girls, so I'm trying to get them as far on the other side of the house as possible. supposed to be a very simple shed slanted roof, but it quickly went to a very high peak pitch gable roof. But that's okay too. I mean, I plan on having a lot of dear friends and family come if the time should arise. So we'll have room for everybody. Was it decent sized hail, Nick? Nick. What the hell I'm calling you Nick, NG. Yeah, we don't really have basements here in Texas, Odessa, but again, I'm on quite a hill out here as well. The house here is built on the side of a hill, so one corner of my house is basically level with the ground, and out on the far end of my main floor, it's about 12 feet off of the ground. That's about how steep the hill is here that we're on. So that lower level is not actually below the ground, it's just below the house. You out of here, NG? Grape size. They strip everything off the trees. Excuse me. Odessa? I didn't say Odessa. Yeah, mold cellars. I worked plenty of that mold stuff when I was a insurance guy. My little cabin over there is underground. I don't really have a mold problem, but since there's no power on over there or anything, there's no air conditioning or ventilation or anything, so it does get a little stuffy in there. Hey, James, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Oh, no, Dave. I used to live in Midland, Odessa. That's where I grew up, out in West Texas. But I live in East Texas now. And there is a whole hell of a lot of nothing in Midland and Odessa. Oil, cotton, and a few cows. When we didn't have any oil, we farmed a hell of a lot of cotton. And we didn't have any cows because we grew cotton, so. Yeah, nothing to do. Nope. Work in the oil fields about it, or drive a tractor. Those were the good old days back then, man. Oh. I have been gathering up some eggs for you too, MB. We've got all the Reese's back together now, so eggs coming up after the next few days ought to be good. I'm going to gather you up some and send you. How many you want? A couple dozen? Oh, it ain't too bad, Dave. We used to farm about, it was probably 3,500 to 4,000 acres of cotton. I had many hours on tractors. I guess when you're a kid, 15, 16, it's pretty boring all day as a job, but When Dad says get out there and do it, you get out there and do it. Because there are worse things that could probably be done. I mean, for me, unluckily, I got the tractor that didn't have the AC or the radio, and you got all the dirt and the heat and all that kind of crap. It wasn't until near the end there that I got to actually move into the nice tractor that had the AC. And yeah, well, it's kind of like everything else. You just got to grow it to get it soft. So. All right, MB, I'll get you a couple of dozen. I know you'll probably have a really good hatch rate, so I won't worry about that. I like the heat too, Dave, but out there on that tractor with no AC, it becomes torture. Well, Yahoo, the old pieces of junk that I used to drive, they weren't worth much, but kind of toward the end, before we got out of farming, we had a few tractors that were probably a couple $100,000 a piece. Those big four-wheel drive John Deeres, they don't give them away. Exactly, NG. I mean, it ain't too bad. There are a lot of things that are a lot worse, especially if you got a nice tractor. My favorite part out there was running a lister. We used to run 12 rows. I'd make sure that's what made your rows. You made 12 rows at a time. Yeah, MB, that's really what got me away from all the other chickens. I mean, it is a great dual-purpose bird. I mean, most of them are going to lay every day too. They're great egg layers. And I've got some roosters that are up and coming that I'm probably going to process them. Well, they're not too bad of a looking chicken either. I gotta say, when I first got them, I thought they were just plain white, but they're kind of pretty. And they're twice the size of our buffs. Of course, I already got rid of all the buffs. I mean, I got rid of 30 chickens last week. I'm down just about all breezy now. We've got a few of the French copper Morans left, but I want to get rid of them too. You just can't beat it for a meat bird and an egg bird. They're really docile. They're not too aggressive. I mean, a couple of the roosters fight on each other, but they're not too hard on the hens. They don't bother anything else. No, MB, you don't have to process them at all. You can just let them continually live and breed. 7 months, 8 months. I think a lot has to do with how you're going to feed it and how you feed it out. I think, the breezy French way is it gets soured milk and corn, I believe, is about the only thing they feed it. Mine are free range and, we get regular chicken feed. I ain't running nothing special through them, but I can definitely tell they're a much better meat bird than any other regular chicken that we've had. Yeah, that's the thing with these breezies, Dave, is they're a good sized chicken. I mean, you actually do get some breast meat in there. They're not going to be like the meat chicken, but it's a good looking bird for sure. Oh yeah, they'll be more than 4 or 5 pounds. We actually haven't processed any of them. I mean, we've been hatching them and raising them, and we've done hundreds, but we sell them before I can ever even get them to raising or processing age. And here I can get 40 or $50 for a breezy, easy. Dave, I can send you some eggs, man. That's gonna be the best thing. Most of the hatcheries stay sold out of them. EMB said he found a place here a couple of weeks ago where the eggs were like 25 or $30. EMB, isn't that what you said? So they're a pretty difficult bird to get a hold of. But if you want some eggs, Dave, just let me know and I'll send you some eggs. You can hatch them out. They're definitely a good meat bird. It's supposed to be the best meat chicken in the world. Of course, half of that is probably just France, but it's supposed to be one of the best meat chickens in the world. Like I say, we haven't processed any yet, but I intend to this year. I've got a few roos I'm keeping to the side that are almost getting old enough, so it shouldn't be long now. Yeah, Dave, I'll send you some Reese eggs. You'll like them. They're a good chicken, especially when it comes time if you're going to need to eat them. And they're a pretty decent sized egg too. Let me see here. I'll give you some kind of idea. They are a pretty decent sized egg. On average, they're pretty good size. We don't overfeed. I mean, we keep out feed pretty much, but we let them free range a lot. Yeah, we hadn't been eating too many of them because, like I said, I can sell the damn things for $50, so we can only. We're hatching as many as we possibly can, but if $50 a piece, I mean, I'm selling a couple of hens and a rooster for $125. And for a couple of hens and a rooster, $125, I can. I've got steaks I can eat. Does it look green? They're really just a cream and a white colored egg. I don't know why it looks green on that camera, but that's really why I made the decision just to get rid of those other egg layers. I mean, these Breeches are such a good egg layer that there was no point in me keeping those other chickens, because if I ever got to eat them, these Breeches are going to be a much better chicken to eat, and they're giving me an egg a day pretty much. You were selling your chickens for $5? Oh no. A laying hen here will bring a $20 bill all day long. As many as you got, I can sell them for $20. Easy. Exactly, Stuart. Steak and eggs. And if you got a decent chicken, some kind of special breed, an Easter egger, or hell, I've even had people buy bantams around here for 20 and $30. But the copper Morans, or if you got a special breed like that, you can get 30 for them, easy. And for something like a Breesy that you can't get at the hatcheries, I mean, they're an easy $40. Yeah, that's $20 for just a yard bird. NG. Hey Nick, how's it going, man? Glad to see you in here. Oh yeah, 75 is not unreasonable either, Dave. Over here at Canton at the trades days, I mean, I see chickens over there for 100, and some for 200. I mean, a lot of these hippie chickens, which I got into there for a while with those AM Samanis, those special breeds. We were selling AM Samanis for a couple of $100. If you can get into them hippie chickens around, there's definitely some money to be made in them. Yeah, the Easter eggers give you those crazy colors, Dave. We were getting greens and blues and pinks and reds, and we were getting all different kinds of colors. And there's a lady over here at our local feed store. She's got a bunch of Easter eggers, and she sells her dozen eggs for $10. And it's just a whole bunch of different colored eggs in there. And she gets $10 a dozen for them. Yeah, the yard birds, you ought to be able to get $20 for a laying hen. Easy, Dave. I wouldn't. Well, I sold 30 last week for $20 a piece, laying hens. And some of them weren't laying, and some of them were so old that they had already stopped laying. But there were, a few good ones in there laying good on my Buff Orpingtons. But it was damn near 30 chickens, and I got $20 a piece for them. So, and it was a straight run. I mean, it didn't matter if they were old or young or laying or what. It was $20 for the chicken. Yeah, I think they're back down now here in Texas. I mean, $2 or $3 a dozen, it's not bad. I know the people that were buying our eggs down there in Houston have kind of slacked off, and which is fine with me because I'd rather hatch all of our Reese eggs now than sell them as regular eggs. But we've actually got a bunch of people buying our duck eggs, and we're selling the duck eggs between $6 and $8 a dozen. Well, we try and hatch most of our Reese eggs. And you don't have to sell anything down here, Dave. I mean, we posted on a couple of local forums, and they're gone. Pretty much everything that we have here on our farm. We have people in line to buy emus as soon as they start laying. Whether it be an egg or a baby emu if we decide to hatch it. All of our Breezy chickens, I mean, we sell the chicks, and I get very few to adult age before they sell. The pigs, they're pretty much going to be spoken for as far as I know. All of our turkeys get sold out every year. All of our quails sell out. So pretty much everything here on the farm we do sell. Not that we really make any money at it, but what we sell most generally pays the cost that we incur to raise the rest of our animals for our use. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We get 2 hens and a rooster for $125 of Reese's. So I'd much rather just, sell them to pay for all of my other feed and expenses and fencing. And I wouldn't say that it actually pays for it all now, but it's a pretty good offset as to what we expense off on the farm. And then our animal sales are pretty much cash, unreported. So any way I can stick it back in the eye of the government is all good for me. But this is an area where a lot of people are moving to this area and wanting to start a homestead. There are so many people wanting to get out and start into the country, and there's a lot of them around here that are starting. So yeah, the quails, they are probably the messiest smelliest. And well, I don't know. It's going to be a close call between them and the ducks, but them quails are messy. But I tell you what, a bacon wrapped quail, my goodness, man, it is worth every bit of that shoveling poo. And that poo is good for my garden, so I really don't mind it either. Oh yeah, we gonna be hopefully trading everything, Stuart, from whatever we grow to raise to yeah. All my turkeys are pretty much free range, so I don't really have a mess to keep up after them. I keep my main pair that we breed and get eggs from in a closed-in pen, but it's a pretty good sized pen, so we don't have to. It stays pretty clean just from the rain and everything. Quail is man, it's just delicious. If he raises them, tell him to get you a couple of them, NG. Wrap them things with barbecue, man. Throw them on the grill. Don't take them real long to cook. You know, they're really lean, but oh yeah, quails from I take my quails from they can go from egg to freezer in 10 weeks. They are the JMF jumbos, so you know if you give them a little more time, they will actually get up to almost a pound. They are super delicious wrapped in bacon. And the quail eggs they're delicious too. Hard boiled, I mean they're a delicacy. Very rich in flavor, and they lay like crazy. So again, we were selling quail eggs for $8 a dozen there for a while. I think the prices have come down on them a little bit now, but it really won't take them long, Dave. I mean, at that 8 weeks probably they're going to start breeding at 8 weeks. So by 10, you ought to be having some eggs. And then again, it's just an 18-day hatch. So I mean, last year there were weeks in there where we were getting 300 quail eggs. And it seems the farm is really starting to. I'm getting the numbers down on the females with the goats and the chickens and everything, where those numbers, breeding season, everything is really starting to multiply out now. It doesn't take long. We just added 2 more little female goats last week to the herd, so it's exponential. And when they start having twins and triplets, they can add up quick. I wish I could raise enough and populate back in around the area here with them, Dave, but we have a fire ant problem, and anything that roosts on the ground or nests on the ground around here is in trouble. So a lot of the things in this area here, turkeys and quail, a lot of our native species that nest on the ground here in Texas are getting eat up by hogs and fire ants. But I used to quail hunt out in West Texas, and we'd go out there and bag 25 or 30 in a couple of hours. But it'd be great to repopulate the woods around here if we could. I try to do that with my turkeys. That's why I just let them, free range, because if they wander off or get into the woods or whatever, that's fine with me. It wouldn't hurt my feelings a bit, but I know they ain't going to make it. I mean, with the ants and the coyotes and everything. Yeah, the fire ants are just, they're destroying everything, man. It's crazy. A lot of our native species here just, I think our roadrunner is the next culprit on the list. They're getting less and less and less. You used to see them all the time, and now it's very rare. You still in here, MB? You wasn't looking for no quails, were you? Yeah, I've seen those guys do that with aluminum. Make that nest down into the ground. That is some pretty cool stuff. Right on. Well, let me know. Them JMFs are they seem to be a pretty good breed. They get pretty big. Well worth your time cleaning. And you can. I'm an old school guy, so I mean, when I used to hunt quail, I mean, it was the thumb right under the breast, pull that breast off, and the rest of the stuff went in the trash. But now that I've got a chicken plucker and a defeathering plucker, I know they make one for quail that's a little smaller, but my chicken plucker works really great. So now, we can just clean them out and gut them and throw them in that chicken plucker, and it leaves the little legs on there and everything. The skin is, there's a little bit more meat on there. And them little legs, little drumsticks are just like a little chicken leg. I have poured everything known to man on fire ants, from fire to chemical. Well, it depends, Hoot Owl, if you're going to use chemical or you're going to try and go the natural way. If you just got them out in your pasture around your house and you're trying to get rid of them, I make this stuff in a brown can called Ortho. Smells like ass, but it works really good and it'll kill them. You got them in your garden or your greenhouse or around, plants that you don't want chemicals in. I've got a formula that works pretty good. It's orange oil extract, which you can get local feed store or Amazon. It's this orange oil extract. You mix that with a little bit of, I believe it's, I'm going to say, I'd have to go back on my video and look, but I believe it's 3 tablespoons of orange extract, 2 tablespoons of molasses to a gallon of water. You just mix that together, put it in your hand pump sprayer and spray it on them. I believe the molasses sticks it to them and the orange oil kills them. But it's all chemical-free, good stuff, orange oil and molasses. I do have a video of the recipe on my channel if you want to go back and look. All natural fire ant killer. Collect them, dry them, crush them, and sell them to organic market. I just want to kill them. If I could just box them all up and send them up there to UNG, I'll let you separate them out and sell them and crush them and all that kind of good stuff. I can get you some by the shovel full if you can just figure out how to separate them. Yeah, 3 tablespoons of orange extract, 2 tablespoons of molasses. Mix it in a gallon of water, and then pump up sprayer and spray it on them. It doesn't kill them instantly, but a couple of treatments will definitely take care of them. Any secret potions for rats? You need to mix corn bread mix. If you can find the honey flavored cornbread, you mix cornbread mix with baking soda. Probably 60-40 on the cornmeal side, a little heavier on the cornmeal. But you mix the cornbread mix with the baking soda, and it will kill them. They can't burp, so they kind of blow up. Yeah, the Jiffy Mix, the honey just seems to draw them in a little better because it's got that sweet smell. So if you can possibly get that honey mixed cornbread. Russia has a plan for the fire any problem. Oh, fire in the U.S. Yeah, I bet they do. All natural ant powder. I use it in the garden and the greenhouse just because I try not to put any chemicals out in there. And it seems to work pretty good. Like I said, it doesn't kill them immediately, but a couple of treatments. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it kills them or just drives them away from the area, but either way, they leave. So, yeah, mix that up about 60-40, Dave, and just put it in a little bowl, man, and put it down, where they can eat on it. And they'll eat on it, and that baking soda will kill them. And pretty much all natural. Your dogs or cats or any of that other kind of stuff can eat it, and it won't hurt them. But rats can't bark or fart, so if you get the baking soda in them, they're screwed. Yeah, the baking soda and the cornmeal both make some cornmeal. Cornbread makes them thirsty, so they're going to go look for water. It does the same thing as poison. Most of your poisons will make them go look for water. So if they don't have water in the house, they're going to leave. Got your corn and sunflowers? Are you sure it was rats? We got a bit of a coon problem around here that likes our corn. Ortho is good stuff. I just can't use it in the garden, LD. You want to just out and about around the house or in the yard, that's what I use, is that Ortho. It smells like ass, but it works really good. Yeah, if you're not seeing any good result from that, just up the intake of the baking soda, Dave. I try to give it a little sweet flavor to get them eating it at first, but as long as they get some of that, mix it up real good, as long as they get some of that baking soda in there, it'll take care of them. If it don't seem to be working, just up that intake of baking soda. Maybe mix it 50-50. Oh, yeah. Well, lucky for me, most of mine stay down there around my chicken pens because, they got food down there. I got lots of the walk-to-plank traps. I got some of those CO2 traps where it sends a hammer out and hits them. I got lots of different mouse and rat traps down there because we've always got food out, so they're always a problem. Don't mix it too strong now, because if you get too much baking soda in it, they won't want to eat it. So start off with that 60% cornbread mix first. Yeah, if they ain't got feed in that chicken pen, that's all they're doing is going over there to your garden whenever they get hungry. I'd put those saucers out between your chicken pen and your garden, and at night go in there and pick your chicken feed up, take it up where they can't get to it, and just put a bowl of that stuff down there. It won't hurt your chickens either if they peck around at it. I'm not sure if the baking soda thing works for roaches or not. The orange oil does, though. You know, it's just a great overall cleaner for the house anyway, and it smells good. It's not chemicals. So you can use that orange oil as a disinfectant or a air freshener, cleaner, degreaser. It works good for all that kind of stuff. And they sell it here at my local feed store. I don't know if they will at yours or not, but you can get it easily, you know, from the big guys, Amazon, unfortunately. But look at your local feed store first. They might have it, or they might be able to order it for you. No, it won't hurt the chicken a bit. And the mice do like it. Yeah, it's good stuff, MB. We keep a couple of bottles of it this summer. It's a great cleaner, believe it or not. What, Black Bear? That is crazy. Yeah, I'll send him a message and let him know. You're in Odessa in a medical tent. That ain't Odessa, Texas, is it? You like over there across the pond? I'll let him know. Well, you stay safe, Black Bear. If there's any way we can contact you or email you or something, please drop us a line. We'll send you some prayers. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll send it to him right now. Hey, Angie, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Okay, Black Bear has been sent. Prayers to you, and you get to, hope you get to doing better. You better be careful over there. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I got the damn freshwater rivers landmine. What the hell? A floating landmine. The plant has a week. Oh, the nuclear plant over there? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt one bit that that probably ain't going to be intentional for some reason. That is crazy. I've been seeing some reports on all that floodwater down there. It looked kind of like New Orleans. Yeah, fishing just hit a whole new level. I think there were a lot of things that hit a whole new level in that river. They are bombing emergency workers. Well, they probably just bombing everybody over there. Everything. That whole place looks like a. That's why I didn't understand why the nuclear facility was still even online. Everything around there has been blown up. How do they even got transmission lines? That place over there is going to be just like Cambodia, man. It's going to take them 50 years to get all that used military hardware out of there. Unexploded ordnances. This is going to be place is going to be a nightmare. They probably will never get it all cleaned up. Between the new nuclear facility and the Chernobyl over there, there just ain't going to be a lot of growing space left over in Ukraine. I'm sure there are plenty of people sending prayers that way, Black Bear. Thank you for going over there and trying to help those people. Lord knows they need it. Come on, Doug. Y'all hang on, guys. I got to let my pups out. I was kind of hoping they might run down there and run off some of my coyotes. I heard coyotes hollering. Yeah, that whole situation going on over there in Ukraine is. Stay safe, Black Bear. Trying to sneak messages out. That's sure sign of a place I don't even need to be. Yeah, Black Bear is always over at JW's channel. She's always got some interesting information there. I would hate to. I'd hate to be over there. I hope they're rewarding you nicely. Probably not, but I hope you're getting something out of it. Oh yeah, totally, Dave. That is the agenda. Own nothing, be happy. Beg for your oppression. It is crazy how they're working everything that direction. I mean, how easy would it be to do some good for the American people? I mean, put us first for once. They ain't gonna do it. They never have. They never will. I mean, we're sending our people over there to die and be maimed through all of this. What's going on, Chuck? Oh, yeah. Oh, we just hanging out, chewing the fat, BSing. What you got going on? It should be the USA people first, but how long has it been since since the people that we put in charge, how long has it been since they put us first? Literally. That's what I was asking a while ago. Is there any good news? Is it going to get any better than today? I mean, tomorrow is the best that it's going to be. I mean, with everything that they've just told us in the last week going on. I mean, it ain't going to get no better, folks. Jack and Nada, and a lot of both. I hear that, man. When you get too bored, you come over here and help out on the farm. I've got something everybody can do, trust me. Oh, goodness. I was going to say it's getting late. It's probably about time for y'all guys to go live, ain't it? I don't know if they can get rid of Tater fast enough. You went live in a few. Me either, man. This is the first time I've been live in, a couple of months, I think. I ain't even making videos. I ain't got time. I hate it too because I like coming over here chit-chatting with y'all. Crazy. Hey, Fred. Oh, well, Fred, we had the good stuff earlier. We just sitting around chewing the fat, man. We'll talk about anything we want to talk about. We don't care. Oh, hang on. I got to let my puppy in. I just showed up as an alert. Man, that don't surprise me. You know how YouTube is on us. Come on, get in here. But whatever you want to talk about, Fred, ain't nothing off limits here. We ain't scared to talk about it. And then you got to use code words, passwords, none of that good stuff. You got something to say it. We ain't scared. Got a question? You got no alert, just got lucky. All right. Hey, KP. I didn't know you were still hanging out in here. Thanks for hanging out. Well, I don't mind talking to you guys or chewing the fat or chewing whatever's going on. It's all just so crazy. Yeah, YouTube guys, don't even try to figure it out anymore. I knew I was in trouble when they stopped all of my videos at 1,400 views. It's crazy. I mean, I got so many that just go to 1,400 and they stop. That's all right, though. Yangling? No. Here's what we drink right here, Fred. Yeah, they gave me one a while back, Chuck, and I ain't got one since then. I don't even remember what it was for. I think it was when I was first talking about COVID, but I ain't got any since then. But I don't understand it because, hell, I talk about everything else that everybody else gets in trouble with, and they don't seem to hit me, so all sweet tea. Man, I wish I could quit those Dr. Peppers. That's where they've got me. I can do is out there me eating their meds and all their other crap, but them Dr. Peppers, boy. All right. Unknown on both, exactly. I didn't even know what it was for. Well, I didn't know what video later deleted or erased. I can't go back and tell. I don't know how to operate on this crap, man. I'm lucky I get the live button on. You know the ones of us out there that are really telling the truth and spreading the word, because they are limiting us. Those other ones that got 2, 3, 4, 500 or a million subs, all they're doing is pushing their same bullshit propaganda. That's why they keep growing. Oh, definitely, Fred. And it ain't gone yet. It's coming back. Well, the COVID might be gone, but they got all kinds of new shit they're going to push on us now. Vinegar. I ain't tasted that yet. I ain't got that far along. I can't do Mr. Pibb. Yep, the truth, though, that's the first victim in war, and we are at war. So us getting the truth is going to be pretty slim to none. Oh, Dessa, you're still hanging out in here? Look at all y'all guys hanging out being quiet. Oh, Dave, I'm sure I have said plenty to offend the masters. I gotta admit, I haven't been in a Walmart in about 10 years now. And last couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, we had to take the girls fishing. And the bait store, the little local bait store here, was out of worms. So I had to go in Walmart and buy some worms. Man, that's the first time I've been in there in about 10 years. I can tell you, I don't miss it a bit. Yeah, I never have liked Pibb. It always, matter of fact, it does taste like that, like it's got root beer in it or something. Oh, my hat's off to her, man. I don't know how they can do it. But I've been self-employed the better part of 30 years, so I don't know that I could work for anybody. I don't know if they were lazy worms, but they work good, Dave. You can pretty much throw an empty hook in my lake and catch something, so they could have been lazy and worked just as well. Uh, that is the one thing I do need to get rid of, though, is my Dr. Pepper problem. Something from Walmart that works, yeah. Well, I can tell you, there wasn't near as many worms in that box as I thought there were going to be. Right? I have made it a point to stay out of Walmart. And to be quite honest with you, I met Mr. Walton a long time ago when we were farming out in West Texas. Their family owns a castle out there, a real castle that they had built. It's got a moat and everything around it. But I was coming home one day from working in the field out on the tractor, and there's this old man on the side of the road, broke down in an old pickup, probably, a old 50s model Chevy pickup, flat tire. And I stopped and asked him, he needed any help or anything. And he said he didn't have a spare tire on the truck. If I could just take him back to his house, he'd get his family there to help him come fix the truck. And I said, okay, no problem. This is a normal old guy, overalls, old farmer. Nothing, I didn't expect nothing. We drove down the road there, and he said, take a left here. And we drove down the road there a little ways, and just driving up to the gate on this castle was probably, hell, I wasn't 16 years old at the time. It was the nicest, fanciest thing I'd ever seen. Driving in through this gate to this huge mansion castle with barns and layouts, and I mean, $1 billion property probably. And drove the man right up there to the front door, and he got out and shook his hand and said, thank you. Only when I left that I noticed the name Walton on the gate. Yes, Hoodow, they do have a castle. Yeah, I stood in front of it, actually, and drove through the gate. Yeah, the old man, dude, he was a normal old guy. You'd never know that he was a billionaire for sure. I mean, he was in an old 50 model, ratty ass old pickup out there in the country, driving down country roads. They're killing crappie in Lake of the Pines. Wow. I ain't been up to the Lake of the Pines in a long time. All right. Yeah, he was a really, from what I could tell, he was a really normal guy. And I don't think he had the intentions of this his legacy being Chinese owned, selling junk out of their store. That was not his initial vision. Yeah, old grandpa, exactly. He was just an old man when I picked him up on the road, man. It was crazy. I thought he was just some old farmer out there in his junky ass overalls. Hard to believe, one of the richest men in the world. You never know who you're going to meet out there. Pick up the old farmer and drop him off in front of his castle. Never can tell. Oh gosh, guys, it's 1 o'clock, man. I got to get up in 4 hours and do this all over again. I noticed none of y'all are volunteering to come help tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to call this thing short and get off of here. Chuck, you not going live later? Yeah, there's a few of them I'd like to find broken down now, Dave. Yeah, Gizmo calls early, right? Actually, in about 2 hours, the chickens are going to start crowing, so. You'd miss tomorrow? That's okay. There'll be plenty to do on Saturday, so, just let me know when you start coming down this way, and I'll have stuff lined up for you. We can spend a few days down here, and we won't waste any time. That'd be mint. Are you over there close to Lake of the Pines, Chuck? What are they doing over there anyway? Are they putting poison out? Or are they electrifying them? What are they doing? That's a shame, because crappie are damn good. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Dessa. I appreciate it. They use a chemical over there? That's unbelievable. I can't believe they're killing a crappie out of there. That's insane, but it doesn't surprise me. And Wascom. What's up with Caddo over there? I haven't been to Caddo in years and years and years. Is that place still on the map? Wascom. I used to live in Marshall. I used to work at Marshall Pottery right out there. Used to throw them old big old red pots. Boy. Moss killer stuff. All right. That's what I heard. It pretty much taken over Caddo up there. You couldn't even get a damn boat through there. I do like crappie, Dave. The only thing I like more than that are the bluegill. Marshall Pottery is gone? No way. Wow, that is crazy. Them people have been around forever. Dang. Oh, how times change. Finley, what's going on, man? LBJ National Grasslands. That is some pretty country down in there. Thanks for stopping by, Finley. And you got to get one of these right here, man. This is a cooner tractor, too. It works. You can dial right into where them coons are, man. You stay safe out there, Finley. Y'all don't have too much fun. I enjoy them food food things you do too, man. My goodness. Yeah, Dave, bluegill, man. If you can get the big ones, pan size, they're perfect. Florida bluegill hybrid is about the best. They get up to about a pound and a half. That's what I got my pond stock with. Oh yeah, definitely, Chuck. They're working on it. Yes, sir, Finley. Appreciate you watching. I appreciate your videos you put up, man. I love watching your vids. Stay safe out there, buddy. Here they get up to 3 inches. They get. I got some over there in the pond now that are probably a good pound. I can't do catfish, man. I ain't had no catfish that ain't never tasted like mud to me. It all tastes like mud. Blue cat, yellow cat, channel cat. I don't care what kind of cat you got. It tastes like mud. And I can always catch crappie or bluegill that are going to taste good. So. Yeah, the hybrid bluegills are perfect, Dave, because you just go right in behind that gill, right down the backbone with your electric knife, flop over that fillet, and go right down the skin, and it comes off a perfect pan fry fillet every time. They are wonderful. Yeah, trout are pretty hard to come by in Texas. There's a few down in South Texas in the hill country down there, but our trout here they definitely ain't nothing to get excited about. I like anything that ain't fishy fish. I can't eat bass; they're too fishy. You can get some good bass here, and if you don't mind fishy fish, they're all right. But that's what I like about crappie and bluegill; it ain't too fishy. And of course, over here, every cast you're pretty much pulling one out. You ain't too far, Chuck. We need to get together one day. Oh man, I may have to get out my thermal and go down there to the goat pen. I can hear them coyotes. I was not looking forward to that at 1:30 in the morning. Tastes like diesel? Woo! I wouldn't say it tastes that bad, but man, I have soaked catfish in brine water. I have soaked it in milk. I've soaked it in beer. I've soaked that shit in everything, and I cannot get rid of that mud taste. So I just stay away from catfish. Now, see, we don't get to get anything fresh like that down here. Although my brother-in-law has, it ain't fresh now, but he's given me some salmon and a few different kinds of fish. Last year they went fishing up in Alaska. I've got it in the freezer in here. I do need to cook some of that up. About the freshest seafood you're going to get around here is shrimp. Skip Cody. Skip. Send the dogs up for the coyotes. Hang on. Oh yeah, we definitely got coyotes down there. Hang on a second. Shrimp is bait. Come on, Dave. He gives you some of them big 8-10 count per pound shrimp. No, man. I can't do the crawfish, Chuck. That's too much work. If you can get them, if you can order them already peeled, I'll eat them all day long. Yeah, good tasting bait, huh, MB? That's funny. Get in here. Come on. You said Boosie got to get that coyote, didn't you? You ain't even gonna run down there for him. Taught you how to eat them fast. Yeah. Well, I can eat them fast too if you'll just peel them. That's my bottleneck is if you'll just peel them, I'll eat them. I ain't got no problem eating them. My bottleneck is to peel it. My brother-in-law sent me up some elk and some bear, some stuff from Alaska, some salmon. I don't think he sent any halibut, but there were a couple of different kinds of fish in there. No moose. I ain't much of a bear guy. It's too greasy for me, man. I don't know. I'd eat it if I was like starving, probably, but there's a lot of other things I'm going to try and probably eat before I get to the bear. Yeah, roast beef. I guess it's what I just call gaming. Irony taste to me. There's a place here in Canton that sells bison burgers. They're not too bad. For $25, I'll pass, but it ain't too bad. I ain't never had moose either. Yeah, exactly. It's hard for me to eat fat off a steak, so when the meat tastes a little funky and it's fatty, I can just kind of do without it. It wasn't even like didn't seem fatty to me. It was more just like lamb. I mean, I'm not a lamb guy either. I could probably put it on a stick and get it crispy enough that I wouldn't have to worry about it, but gonna have a hard time with meat. Yeah, no doubt. Waterproof a mud puddle. Yeah. The buffalo is pretty lean too. The bison is pretty lean too. Luckily, we don't have bears down here, so I ain't got to worry about trying too much bear meat or moose. And got the good old deer down here, and that's really all you need. Oh my goodness! All right, guys, 1:30. Is there any mods in there? Can anybody drop y'all's links? I'll drop y'all's links before I say goodbye. Deer is all I need, exactly. You're a carnivore. If it eats, you'll eat it. Exactly. I ain't on top of the food chain to be eating grass. All right, guys. Well, I'm on StreamYard, so I can't drop your links. And MB and Dave, I'll get your eggs out in the next few days. I'm collecting super fresh for you, so they ought to be good. Hey, thanks, MB. Ain't a whole bunch of you in here, but I ain't famous like MB or Chuck, where you get 30, 40 people in there listening to you. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all coming in. Stopping by, listening to the rant. We got to do this more often, get together, say highs and byes. And Chuck, I definitely want to get with you, man. You're too close not to get with. Oh, yeah, man, you're welcome in here anytime. Y'all guys are always welcome. Do you need some hens, Chuck? Be watching for them eggs, Dave. I'll send you the tracking number. You too, MB. Hey, KP, thanks for coming in. We'll have to do it again. I'm getting caught up a little bit here on the farm, so maybe I can make some more time. Yeah, I think you did, Chuck. I'll go back and check, man. Do you have 6 chickens, or you can have 6 chickens? If you need some chickens, let me know. We'll get you hooked up. You can. Well, you just let me know when you're ready. We got them from eggs to chicks to, I don't know that I got any grown ones, but we could probably get you pretty close. You better get on that, buddy. nothing like fresh eggs or fresh chickens. All right, guys. Thank y'all for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Y'all stay safe out there. Eyes open, all right? Stay safe, guys. Yeah, KP, anytime. I wish I could do it more. Thank you, guys.